Are you filming? Have you been filming today?
Yes, we've been filming for a documentary called Pop Parade, People of Pride.
Oh, really?
And we're here filming the first ever historical Staten Island Pride Parade, which never existed in the world before today.
Are you an independent producer?
I am an independent director. This is our associate producer, Tom, and I'm self-financing this project because of the importance that it holds to me as a New Yorker.
Have you ever done other documentaries?
Yeah, we both worked on the ABC Hamptons documentary with the award-winning documentary filmmaker Barbara Koppel. I worked on the VH1 special Boys Will Be Girls, which dealt a lot within the gay community. I've done my own documentary called Freaks, Glam Gods, and Rock Stars, a gender film with the director Josh Aronson for Showtime called The Opposite Sex. And I worked for Fox 5 and News 12 Long Island. So we've done a lot on the national scope, but we want to do something that meant something to us in our heart. Brand new. And that's why we're so funny. First thing this beautiful lens has seen is gay Staten Island. First thing ever shot. We've never touched it before. We bought a new camera and
how much does a camera like that cost?
The camera like that, $3,500. And then we got to buy wireless mics and headphones. We're talking to $5,000 just to even start producing this event. And then you've got to buy tapes, you've got to do transportation, you've got to pay post-production. And that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying this is all coming out of my pocket, I'm a gay man doing a film about my community, and I'm dumping 10 grand into it as well. What am I getting back? I'm giving. But it's a big investment. I think my Avid setup with the computer was about $9,000.
Really?
And that's not including this equipment, that's separate.
Oh.
So it's not but I mean, you could edit off of a cheaper camera on, your home computer, but we're not going to present our community with a cheap camera. We're going to use broadcast quality equipment. We're going to use what the network's using, because this is important, and if it costs a lot of money, well,
I just got
spending it on something that did something. Those are good, but I like to wire somebody, because this way, if I have to walk away from them, I can. And it's easy, you just flip this on, and before you know it, they're wired and you're gone.
Right. Do you use
you're
a
going to fight
cam?
with Stephanie Mills, that's why I'm yelling at you, because you're going to hear all of this.
Yeah, right. Well, this Zoom is supposed to be focused right on you. As a matter of fact, I'll go around this way to make sure.
I can hear it right here, so her voice is right here. Whether it's not coming from here.
Oh, really? This is my first day with my Zoom. I went to another fair and filmed without the mic.
What did you do with your project?
Gay fairs.
Gay fairs.
Yes.
Gay fairs. Stonewall changed the world. Changed the world in 1969. The parades that are happening in New York right now, they're not changing the world. Yeah, we're getting in the news and we're seeing a boy floating down the road in a pair of spandex that says Roxy on his float. We're not changing the world. But what we are doing is we have an extremely big, powerful presence in New York many years later, because we've got Staten Island, we've got Brooklyn, we've got Queens, we've got Long Island, we've got Fire Island, we've got the Bronx, we've got New Jersey, and you can get to all these places for public transportation. Look at how much gay people are saying, look at me.
Are you going to Asbury Park?
Asbury Park, Pride is taking place the same day as another Pride event, as well as Westchester Pride is taking place the same day as Brooklyn Pride. Someone's got to figure out their calendar. Maybe we can start Pride in May instead of June, because we have overlapping prides in our tri-state area. So no, I will not be at Westchester, and I will not be at Asbury Park, because there's another event happening.
Are you going to cover like the Black Pride?
Black Pride is in August, and I don't know if that's the exact word. Remember the flyer we got? Is it called Black Pride?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
I have the literature. It is
in
in
August.
August.
The flyer as well. I don't want to go on camera saying the wrong word, because I just found out about their event. But I'm invited to it, and they handed me flyers, and it's happening in August. For our purposes, we may not cover it, because we stopped shooting in June. I just found out about the Pride event.
So you mean you're only going to shoot the whole film within 1 month?
Yes, we are shooting the month of June in 2005. And this is what's happening right now. We don't need to film for 4 months and 5 years, because you know what? Someone different is going to step up next year. And the people that did it this year are brilliant and important, and I applaud them. And I'm looking at them.
We're here at Gay Expo, and I've run into one of the real stars of the film world, Ryan Wolosky, who has produced numerous films and has a bright career with new films coming out almost yearly now. Why don't you tell me what you're up to, Ryan?
I'm up to following you because I stay inspired by meeting people like Randolph Wicker, and that's why I'm at the original GLBT Expo, to meet you.
Now, see, this is a mutual.
You are a big inspiration to me, Randy. You know, when I look at your career, I say, you know, how can I now top what Randy Wicker did? Because I see a lot of me in you, even when you were younger and at your current age and your next age. I'm like, I'm a lot like Randy. How can I top that?
You can live to be 100 and do more than I'm going to get to do. So tell me what you're here for today specifically. Your new film.
Yes, I'm actually premiering the trailer for my brand new documentary. It's called Love June, and what we do is we celebrate all of the different boroughs in New York City by going to their Pride event. And Pride can be really messy with thousands of people. So we found someone who lived in Jackson Heights. We found someone who lived in Brooklyn. And we go from their home to their event. And we celebrated throughout the month of June, and we had each individual stories from each community. Hence, it's like a love letter. Love, comma, June. And I love the month of June, and I always see you at all the Pride events, so I know you can relate. It's like you have somewhere to go on Friday, and you have somewhere to go on Saturday, and it's not that we don't have a busy social schedule, just that these are really profound events that we know it's important to show up for.
And the people that participate are inspiring and different stories. Each one is so different from the next.
Oh, of course. You know, I mean, it was somewhat intentional on my behalf to make sure that I have L, I have G, I have B, and I have T. Because so many times in the media, what I have seen is whoever has the most scandalous bikini on or whatever trans person shows their new goods, you know, and I have nothing against outrageous behavior. I love being outrageous. But there's also stories that never get told. So, you know, I chose people to tell me a story. What's it like to be, you know, a trans female living out in Brooklyn? What's it like, you know, to be a Hawaiian boy living in what is, you know, the Chelsea white muscle boy neighborhood? And we tried to parallel their stories based on their personal story and then back again towards their community.
And when is the film itself going to appear?
Well, Randy, since I love June, we are doing the world premiere in June. But the premiere of the trailer happened right behind us at the Rhode Island International Film Festival site. The Long Island Gay and Lesbian Film Festival also co-sponsored this event, and they brought me in as a guest, and I'm eternally grateful.
I interviewed Ryan the first time at Staten Island. It must have been 4 or 5 years ago.
I was working on the movie, and
it was your first day out, or the first time out with your new camera.
That was the first shoot of Love June, and that was the day I met you. You literally walk up to me, and you're like, what kind of camera do you have? And I just thought you were so charming that, you know, even though I was working on a brand new film, I gave you my time. And look, here we are today, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan and Randy.
Let me tell you, this man's very unique because I've been out with a lot of filmmakers and a lot of people, and this man took the trouble, and I was a nobody with a little camera in those days, to help me, to recommend, to give me advice. And I remember him talking about how he wanted to give something back to the gay community, and that's obviously what he's doing with this film, Love June. How long is Love June?
Love June is going to be a feature length, about 79 to 86 minutes. But you know how many hours of footage that entailed? How many people's personal life stories that entails? And we're going to chop it down to 86 minutes.
And how many hours altogether did you end up filming?
Well, you know, I love Pride events, so I was like, this is interesting, this is interesting.
Hundreds of hours, all right?
Hundreds of hours, yeah.
How many hundred? You have any idea?
For this project, it probably catches in at about 100 plus.
And that's what people don't realize, is you shoot 100 hours to produce an hour of usable footage.
But the one thing about that is I enjoyed those 100 hours. Like I started, it was with my people.
And that's what takes so much time, because you got to pick and decide what is the best scene or series of scenes that tells this person's story in the most effective manner.
Now we have negativity. Editing! Editing is what took the longest. Just because, you know, with so much great footage, to sit there and rewatch it all and then chomp it and chomp it and chomp it, it's not fun, ladies and gentlemen.
And for that reason, I'm going to end this interview right now.
You don't want to edit anymore with Ryan?
I have so much to edit. I have so much video I haven't edited. I totally understand what you're going through. People don't know the misery behind every film.
And I'm actually hosting back here at the Video Lounge, so I've got to go back to work.
Well, good for you. Keep up the good work. You're doing great work.